puts me in an awkward stage. There was a lot of things happening in Florida that one could actually say things about the state or the people itself for allowing such events to go on and really screw things up for everybody. The apartment complex collapse over there. That's tragic enough as it is. But when you have a governor still spouting off political crap in the midst of tragedy happening at this point over here, did somebody actually check this guy's mental status? Florida Governor Desantis is signing in legislation, or has already signed into legislation right now. Despite people having lives being taken away in an apartment collapse, and my heart goes out for every one of them, including the family members who survived, but also for the families and for the people who hadn't survived, and for those who know or relatives of those people stuck in it. Anybody connected to the thing, including the first responders. I mean, it's tragic enough as it is. What tells me what's more tragic, if it's allowed to continue on and without the press coverage at this point. I mean, this is tragic enough on every federal and every nationwide channel right now, also the international. But having DeSantis telling college students that they have to fill out surveys to find out where their thoughts and feelings are concerning about politics, religions, and everything else. My question, what the fuck's he wants that information for, and why should he care? Why is it the college's responsibility and the right, or forced upon, to ask students what's going on inside their head and their heart? Unless we're doing something about mental health evaluations at this point, I can understand that portion there. But it's something called anti-indoctrination. What the fuck? Yeah, I'm saying the language. What the fuck? Now you notice the cap I've got on my head. This is a California-based community college called Antelope Valley Community College out here in California. Yeah, I know we're lived hard, we're liberal. We still have our conservatism in here too. But none of our guys would actually ever come up with, or they probably would have agreed with it, I guess, anti-indoctrination of our colleges. You gotta be kidding me. Now the state is interfering with the students' education at this point. It's one thing when you have to approve material that may be controversial enough as it is. But now he wants to find out what the students are thinking at this point over here. It's going to be becoming mandatory for the students to fill out surveys for it in order to continue with their education at their schools that's already been paid for by loans and tuitions and possibly grants if they're lucky enough for it. But now they qualify for that. You have to be politically and religiously correct about it, because we want the quote unquote correct thinking people. We want corrected ideas and ideology. We want corrected religious views. We don't want a campus that possibly explores truth and reality. No, we want our campus that describes reality as fantasy. And we have to treat it as such. I can't deal with that. As much as I'd like to try to feel for the state of Florida, and also for the Floridians and the people visiting that state, and I have acquaintances over there too. I should feel sorry for them now because they have voted in and they've allowed this governor to run amok, and they love him for it. Because I don't see anybody protesting this bastard right now. But this has been a bad time for it anyway because we have the accident and it's tragic and it's nationwide and he's milking it in. But this snuck in. MSNBC did an article, and it was also in the Tampa Bay Times. You know, in order for me to use some of these news sites, I have to subscribe to them. I'm going to have to make a list of the sites I can and can't afford. They're sucking me dry left and right like vampires. You want their articles, you have to subscribe to them. So much for freedom of press. Freedom of speech. Yeah, they've got freedom of speech, you just got to pay for it, though. Nothing's free. But in hearing what happened with this one schmuck who runs the state of Florida, he really must love Trump's ass that much. And the line of thinking. Florida fought like hell to get its cruising industry going, despite the fact that it's affecting Alaska. And they didn't give a shit because they wanted their looking after their own state. I understand that. So now Alaska's got to fight with the CDC and the federal government in order to get, and also with the cruising industry to continue on with their own life support as well. Not to mention Canada as well. If one's been trying to follow up, there's a lot of documentation out there coming from the local papers, not to mention the cruising industries, trying to keep up with what's going on with with the sailing industry. I mean, Florida's been trying to do a lot, so has Alaska, and so has the other states. Since we're coming out of COVID, and we're just about getting rid of this damn bug, hopefully permanently. Now we got this crap to deal with. Well, what pisses me off is I got a governor out of Florida playing havoc with students now, effective July 1st. The college has to go talk to the students. What are they going to do? Go door to door, classroom to classroom, having a security guard or a police officer or sheriff's deputy out there armed and showing paperwork saying, you will do this because the governor of Florida has demanded it. You will file this paperwork. You will fill it out correctly. If you fill it out incorrectly, there will be consequences. Yeah, I'm over dramatizing the damn thing in the first place, but the thing is, anti-indoctrination. I hope the state and the Supreme Courts throw that shit out, because this is government interfering with the students' freedom of speech, and not to mention the freedom of privacy here. They don't have to know about what's going on in a person's heart and feeling at this point over here, unless, of course, they're going to be posing a public health crisis here. Meaning, if we're dealing with a psychotic student who's feeling so out of norms at this point over here, he or she may want to do something. That's one thing. It's trying to find out what's happening on a psychological level in order to get help for the person, not weed them out because they are too liberal or too conservative, or not enough conservative and too liberal. They have liberal parents, they have liberal thoughts and feelings of the stuff. You know, students are going to lie like they're crazy. If they don't like it, they're going to lie their ass off. I would. Yeah, I'm stating it for the record. Then again, I'm a 55-year-old fart, not a 20-something-year-old student scared shitless, and has to deal with the state government who's telling them what to think and feel at this point over here. Does anybody know the term fascism? Actually, it was called fascism, not fascism. Okay, fascism. By Tom. It needs wheat here. No, it needs water. Vata. Vata? Now it's called water. Pronunciations have different sorts of different words, meaning the same thing. H2O, hydration, liquid. Aqua. Coffee. Yeah, I'm hacking it up. I'm also keeping an eye on the news going on because we have the leaders of the search and rescue out in Florida talking about what's happening in the state. Talking to different news media organizations, trying to keep everyone else up to speed. And that's what they do. But regarding this indoctrination, it's taken a backseat. So I gotta put it into the front seat. So how about that, guys, boys and girls, all across the United States? One of these here days, you're going to have one of those kind of governors putting out a statement saying that you must. If you're a college student, you have to comply. I have a survey. I need to find out what's going on in your head. If you've been indoctrinated correctly or not. If you're going to be libtard or not. You must think the right way. No. Yes. No. Yes. No. Yes. Somewhere there's a spark blowing out a fuse here. Yes. No.